Have you tried smashing their face with a mace? A Crossout video by Dangerously Incompetent. This video is about the Mace shotgun, a new weapon. It's introduced at the same time as the Return of the Founders event started off, and all the Founders weapons are getting all the attention, so I thought we might show the Mace a little love. The devs introduced a new rarity with this update, special rarity, and here we can see the Mace nestled between its predecessor, the Sledgehammer, and its successor, the Thunderbolt, and it has 165 more power score than the Sledgehammer, and it has a perk. Every 40 meters the vehicle traverses, weapon damage increases by 10%, stacks up to 4 times. So it's just like the Thunderbolt, only not quite so much. Since the Mace is supposed to be an easier upgrade from the Sledgehammer, let's have a look at the stats side by side. So the Mace has got 165 more power score, half a bar more damage, same fire rate, same range, same accuracy, same time to overheating, 8 more durability, same energy drain, and 11 more kilograms mass, and the extra perk. So if you want to make the most of that extra 30% extra on top of the Sledgehammer power score, you really want to make use of that perk where you could get up to 40% more damage off a shot, a single shot, your first shot, and you've got to travel 160 meters without shooting to get that 10%. So to make it work, you really need to be jumping out on people and shooting them at close range, and not shooting them at them as you close. So jump out from behind a building or from out of camouflage, maybe. Size wise, the Mace is pretty much the same size as the Sledgehammer. If you look underneath, yep, 2x2 squares for attachment, and it's round and it swivels all the way round, traverses all the way round, and it's about the same height and the same barrel length. So I went to the exhibition and I got myself a copy of my old Demolisher Sledgehammer build and replaced the Sledgehammers to see if it fits. The Mace fits in the same slot that a Sledgehammer will do. So there's my Sledgehammer, nicely embrasured or ensconced, and if we pop that out and pop in the Mace, yes, the Mace fits nicely in your nice little armoured coupler for it, the same as the Sledgehammer. So you can just take your favourite Sledgehammer build and replace it with Maces when you got the upgrade. Except it's not quite the same. There's a little difference, and it's in the muzzle height. You can see as I put them on the flat horizontal surface of the cabin, you can see that the Mace muzzle is at just that teensy bit lower than the Sledgehammer, which caused me a problem with this mounting because the Sledgehammer shot over the cabin okay, but the Mace didn't. So I had to jiggle the build around and jack up the rear end with a Bigfoot. If we go into test drive, you can see the whole vehicle's tipped towards the front, and which lets my rearmost Mace, you can see it can just shoot what's a vehicle that's sitting in front of you, and then it stops shooting because, yeah, cabin's in the way. The other changes I made, put the APC wheels in because I'd sold my racing wheels, and then jiggled around the engine and the Maxwell and the chill so that the Bigfoot didn't stick out a country mile. And I stuck with the Maxwell. I did think about going to a Chameleon because the Mace does have that perk. You've got to travel 160 meters without shooting, so if you did it with a cloak you could get nice and close. And remember, they're shotguns, and Mace is a shotgun, so its damage drops off with range, so you want to get nice and close to someone before unleashing that 40% extra damage. But then I also noted the verifier had just been unlocked on the Founders, so I figured battles would be full of verifiers, forcing people who are cloaked up out of cloak. So I didn't bother and stuck with the Maxwell instead. In this battle, we'll see why I like the radar detectors so much. Unfortunately, I can't make the mini-map smaller so I could see all what's going on in one thing. So let's have a look at the map function. And there, oh, someone's going for the corridor. They're coming down the corridor and they're just cloaked up. Oh, ambush time. They don't know I'm here. I know they're coming. Boom! There's my 40%. Oh, and the wedge still works. Take that, miss. And this, and that, and the other. And it's going so well, and then I have a brain fart and let her go. What did I do? No, no, don't go back in. Well, I thought I could lift her again, but obviously not. That could have gone so much better. I wonder if I can last a little longer at this battle. Right, I want to go this way. Let's go this way. Lots of cover to duck behind and stuff. And where's every... Oh, they're all charging off into the middle, where all the enemy can shoot at them. Stupid team. Oh, who's that in the lead? Oh, it's Emily and Yanis. So the bots are dictating our strategy, and everybody's just, you know, charging in to support them, because otherwise they just die and then you're outnumbered. But anyway, yes, our strategy determined by bots. High on Charger Mahal. Let's see if we can find someone. Oh, here's a customer, but they're wounded already, and lots of people are shooting them. I could have been shooting them with a pea shooter. They'd have gone down just as quick. Right, who's next? Yeah, that's a drone user over there. One thing shotguns are good at: shooting flying drones. Oof, there they go. Now you. Let's get you wedged up against something so you can't run off. Ooh, a fuel barrel. In that case, I won't hang around underneath you, because I have a tendency to shoot the fuel barrel. Ooh, look, a fuel tank. How lovely. This has just blown up and taken off my front left wheel. So in that first match, when I shot Mace, Mega, whatever it wasn't a brain fart. I was just remembering, oh yes, there's probably a fuel tank under there, and I don't want that to explode while it's sitting on my cabin. So let's back off before I finish off. But I backed off a bit early. Ooh, this is a bit... Oh, it's not a bit tight. We're still outnumbering them. There's 3 of them. Ooh, cords. Yeah. Blew up before I could take them all off. Oh well. Now that's that. And it's a victory. Nice. Oh, I got MVP. Would you look at that? What a surprise. Top of the team. Huh. You could knock... I didn't expect that. You could have knocked me over with a feather. It can take quite a bit of trigger discipline to keep hold of your 40% perk. I've built up 4x4 now. And now I blow my load just spray firing because I think there's a cloaked up person. There he is, and it's over. And there's my luck. I take a hit, lift him up, and does he land on his back or his side? No, he's back on his wheels and gunning for me within a second. Ah, I was robbed. Utterly robbed. But he's given up, and I've got away. Well, limped away. I've still got 3 guns, 3 wheels. Take me with you. I can shoot perfectly well. So how about some more hot wedging action? You love wedging, don't you? You love it. Right, where's our first customer? Oh, that's someone coming through underneath the ship. Let's have them. Oh, it's a big fat bot. Oof. Well, I took a wheel off, but I didn't lift him. He's a bit heavier than I am. And luckily, he's fixated on someone else. So he's shooting someone else, and I've got all day to try and get myself underneath him. And yes, tipped him over so he couldn't shoot me anymore. And oh, a hover. Let's get the hover. Let's get the hover. Let's blam off his front hover. Oh, why didn't it? Oh, I took off one of his guns instead of the hover. But he's gone now. Ha ha ha! What? Harpooned? How dare you, sir? How dare you? You didn't want to do that. As you can see, the wedge works quite well. And the maces are just like the sledgehammers. They're nicely ensconced with structure in front of them, bumpers on the side, and structure behind them. Keep them nice and protected from melee damage as well as gunfire and missiles and stuff. That's enough larking around. How about a summary? Well, the mace is a very easy upgrade from the sledgehammer. It's the same amount of energy, it's the same size and shape, and the same perks apply to it. So you can take your existing sledgehammer build and just drop the maces straight in and away you go. But for your 165 more power score, you don't get an awful lot unless you use the perk effectively. And that means winding up the damage bonus and then jumping out at people from cloaked or from behind a rock or whatever. But if you didn't do that, you might as well have a junk bow, although it does cost 4 more energy, but it does have a lot more durability, which means you can have your guns more exposed and give them more of an easy traverse. And it's all well and good in ensconcing your maces like this. It makes them last longer, but it does restrict your arc of fire a little bit. The mace uses exactly the same perk mechanic as the Thunderbolt, the epic lunatic shotgun. Except the Thunderbolt does it more. It does 100% extra damage. But even with that 100% extra damage, not very popular with the players. If you look at its price, it's right down the bottom of the list. In fact, it's way cheaper to buy it off the market than it is to craft it yourself. And why is that? The player base doesn't like the perk. 100% extra damage sounds good, doesn't it? Except to get that 100% extra damage, you have to not shoot for quite some time. And you could easily get that 100% extra damage, or 40% extra damage in the case of the mace, by shooting your target as you're approaching them, as you're closing. So the perk isn't great. And if the perk isn't great, what are you getting for your 165 extra power score? A little bit more damage and a little bit more durability. So it's not great. It's okay. Still a capable weapon. You can still destroy other people's rides with it. But I don't think the mace is going to be very popular. In fact, I think the price is going to drop quite soon. So I'm going to sell mine now while the price is high, because it's all new and exciting. Maybe I'll come back to it when the price has dropped. Who knows? That's it for this video. Next video in a week or so. Maybe it'll be a founder's weapon or a cabin or a wheelie leg thing. Who knows? I certainly don't. If you want to find out, you're going to have to tune in to the next exciting Dangerously Incompetent video. Huzzah!